Welcome back to Pantera Staking, where we explore the next generation of blockchain technologies. I'm your host, John, and today we're diving into something both innovative and practical, Agoric. To help us unpack what Agoric is and why it matters, we're joined by Maya, a blockchain researcher and systems architect who's worked closely with the Agoric ecosystem. Maya, great to have you here.
Thanks, John. It's great to be here.
So let's start at the beginning. What exactly is Agoric?
Agoric is a smart contract platform designed for secure, composable, and decentralized applications. But what makes it unique is that it uses JavaScript as its smart contract language. More specifically, a secure version called Hardened JavaScript. The goal is to open up blockchain development to millions of existing JavaScript developers while also making contracts safer and easier to manage.
JavaScript? That's unusual in blockchain. Most platforms go with something like Solidity or Rust. Why did Agoric choose JavaScript?
Exactly because it's so ubiquitous. JavaScript is one of the most widely used programming languages in the world. Agoric wants to remove the barrier of learning a new, often complicated language like Solidity. But they didn't just plug JavaScript in, they've built a capability-based security model on top of it, which isolates and limits what code can do, making it safer for smart contracts.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Capability-based security. That's a term I've heard in passing but never fully understood. What is it, and why does Agoric use it?
Great question. Capability-based security is all about fine-grained permissions. Instead of assuming trust or using broad access control, every piece of code gets only the permissions it needs and nothing more. So if a function needs to access a wallet or a token, it must be explicitly granted that capability. This prevents a whole class of vulnerabilities where rogue code tries to do more than it should. In Agoric, this model is baked into the platform at every level: language, runtime, and contracts.
So what's under the hood? What does the tech stack look like?
Agoric is built on Cosmos SDK, so it's part of the broader Cosmos ecosystem, which means it's interoperable with other chains via IBC, the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol. On top of that, you have Swingset, which is Agoric's framework for deterministic asynchronous programming, basically the runtime that handles smart contract execution. Then there's ERTP, which stands for Electronic Rights Transfer Protocol. It's the token model Agoric uses to create and exchange digital assets safely and flexibly.
So ERTP is like their version of ERT20?
Kind of, but more powerful. ERTP lets you define not just fungible tokens, but also non-fungible and semi-fungible assets with custom logic in a way that's consistent with capability security. And everything stays within JavaScript, which is a big win for developer productivity.
That's a solid foundation. Let's shift gears a little. What are some actual use cases or projects built on Agoric?
Sure. One standout use case is Interprotocol, which is a decentralized stablecoin built on Agoric. It's backed by crypto collateral and governed by the community. Think of it like a MakerDAO-style system, but powered by Agoric's infrastructure and written entirely in JavaScript. Another example is staking derivatives. Agoric supports applications that wrap staked tokens into tradable assets, unlocking liquidity without sacrificing staking rewards. And because of the modular contract system, developers are building reusable components like vaults, governance modules, and token exchanges that can be plugged together with less friction than on other platforms.
Let's talk about developers for a second. If I'm a JavaScript dev and I want to try Agoric, what does the onboarding process look like?
Honestly, it's pretty straightforward. Agoric offers a development environment called Agoric SDK. You write your smart contracts in Hardened JS using familiar async await syntax, then deploy them onto the Agoric chain or testnet. There are also built-in libraries like Zoe, which is Agoric's smart contract framework that ensures fairness in contract interactions. Zoe guarantees that either you get what you want from a contract or you get your assets back, nothing in between. That kind of safety is a big deal, especially for DeFi apps.
Zoe, that's kind of an unusual name.
It's named after a character in Greek mythology, but more importantly, it offers safety and escrowed execution. So when you interact with a contract, your assets are held safely by Zoe, and the contract can't just run off with your funds.
Let's touch briefly on the token side. What's the economic model behind Agoric?
Agoric has a native staking token called BLD, short for BUILD. BLD is used for securing the network via proof of stake, paying fees, and participating in governance. There's also a second token called IST, interstable token, which is the stablecoin I mentioned earlier. The idea is to separate utility from stability. BLD is volatile and used to build and govern the system, while IST is designed to be stable and usable in apps.
So Maya, stepping back a bit, what's Agoric's broader vision for the future of Web3?
Agoric's mission is to democratize smart contract development. By using JavaScript and secure by design principles, they aim to enable millions of developers to participate in building decentralized apps without needing to learn a totally new language or worry about catastrophic bugs. They see a world where components are reusable, composable, and safe by default. Think of it like a decentralized version of NPM for smart contracts, modular and interoperable.
That's pretty ambitious.
It is, but it's grounded. Agoric comes from a long lineage of computer science and distributed systems. The founders, like Mark S. Miller, have been working on secure computing for decades. They're not just Web3 folks, they're system architects with a long view.
Maya, this has been such an enlightening conversation. Final question. For people listening who are curious, where should they start?
Go to agoric.com and check out the documentation. Try out the testnet, join their Discord, and if you're a developer, start experimenting with Zoe and ERTP. It's a great time to get in while the community is still growing and very collaborative.
Awesome. Maya, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, John. Always a pleasure.
That's it for this episode. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a like. Until next time, keep building and keep learning.